Hey there, welcome back to the channel. They thought you'd come running the second they pushed you away. But what if your silence is the one thing that finally breaks their illusion of control? Be honest, what hurts most isn't the breakup. It's that feeling of being thrown aside like you never mattered. They didn't leave because you weren't enough. They left because they were sure you'd keep chasing, sure you'd keep proving yourself, sure you'd make it easy for them. They wanted distance to make you desperate. They wanted silence to make you beg. But today, you flipped the script. Picture this. They open their phone expecting a flood of texts, a missed call, a paragraph spilling your heart, and it's quiet. That quiet isn't emptiness, it's power. It's the moment you stop living on their timeline. It's the moment you stop performing for their validation. It's the moment you choose you. I know the pull you feel, the ache, the habit, the what-ifs at 2 a.m. Your mind rewrites their push as love. Your heart confuses anxiety with attachment. Your body wants the old routine back. But listen closely. If someone pushes you away and waits for you to crawl back, that's not love. That's a test to see how little they can offer and still keep you. Stoic wisdom says your freedom lives in your response, not in what they do. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Your strength begins where their push ends. It starts with your breath before you react, your pause before you reply, your decision before you explain. You are not a backup plan. You are not a spare heart. You are not proof of their importance. You are a person with a life to build and a future to protect. If you do this right, the power shifts instantly. They feel the empty chair at the table. They feel the space you used to fill. They feel the mirror you now hold up to their choices. And while they fidget with their pride, you get clear, calm, and steady. This is where your new story begins. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. No more chasing. I choose my peace. Ready to keep your power and learn exactly what to do next so they can't pull you back into the same cycle. Number 1. Stop giving them the reaction they want. They push you away to pull a reaction out of you, to make you prove your worth, to see if you'll break, to confirm that they still control your emotions. The move is simple. Create distance, trigger panic, wait for the chase. Your old self would rush in with paragraphs, apologies, explanations, midnight calls, anything to end the discomfort. But every frantic message teaches them the same lesson. They can withdraw love, and you'll supply more. That's the trap. The truth is, your reaction is the reward they're hunting for. When you overreact, you reinforce their power. You tell them their silence decides your mood, their attention decides your day, their opinion decides your value. That ends now. The goal is not to become cold. The goal is to become steady. You stop feeding the fire that burned you. You stop playing the role they cast for you. You refuse to turn their push into your performance. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Let that line sit in your chest. You can't control that they pulled away, but you can control the story you write the second it happens. So, here's your new script. Pause before you reply, breathe before you decide, speak only after you've returned to calm. No long explanations, no defending your worth, no late-night essays trying to change a mind that's committed to confusion. Imagine this scene with clarity. They unlock their phone expecting your name to fill the screen. Missed calls, double texts, a desperate, "Can we talk?" Instead, it's silent, not angry silent, not game-playing silent, just steady, grounded, self-respecting quiet. That quiet makes them face what they've been avoiding. You don't orbit them anymore. Without your reaction, their push has nowhere to land. Without your chase, their test has no result. That is how the power shifts. Use simple rules to keep yourself centered. If your hands are shaking, don't send it. If your voice is begging, don't say it. If your message is trying to prove your worth, delete it. Replace the reflex to react with the habit to reflect. Ask yourself, does this response protect my peace or purchase their approval? If it's the second one, you already know the answer. Choose stillness. Stillness isn't passive, it's precision. It says, I move when I mean it, not when I'm pushed. It says, my value isn't up for debate today or any day. And here's the twist they never saw coming. The less you react, the more they have to reflect. Your calm becomes the mirror they can't escape. Your silence becomes the boundary they must respect. Your self-control becomes the thing they can't manipulate. That's how you win, by refusing to play. Number 2, protect your energy, even if they try to pull you back. When someone pushes you away thinking you'll come running back, one of the most powerful things you can do is protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. Your energy is not just about how much you can give to someone else. It's the sum of your mental focus, emotional peace, and inner stability. If you keep giving it away to someone who treats you like an option, you're silently telling them that your peace doesn't matter as much as their approval. And that's a dangerous message to send, not just to them, but to yourself. Protecting your energy means you become intentional about where your attention goes. You no longer allow their sudden texts, emotional guilt trips, or half-hearted attempts to lure you back into their cycle to shake your ground. You understand that the moment you react without thinking, you've handed them the keys to your emotional state. And trust me, if they've already shown you that they can't value you when you're close, they won't magically value you when you keep returning after every push. This is where emotional discipline becomes your armor. Even if you still care about them, even if part of you wants to hear their voice or read their messages, you remind yourself, not all access is deserved. You start filtering who gets your time, your thoughts, and your presence. That's when you truly shift the dynamic. They feel the loss, not because you're playing games, but because you're no longer willing to bleed yourself dry for someone who left you on empty. A Stoic would say, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you protect your energy, you're not closing yourself off from love. You're making sure the love you give is invested in the right places. And that's exactly what turns the tables without you lifting a finger to chase. Number 3, remove their access to your life. They can't keep pulling you back if they can't reach you. This step isn't spite, it's self-respect. You remove their access so your heart can breathe without constant triggers. Start with your phone, mute their notifications, archive the chat. Delete the thread if you need to stop rereading it. If contact is necessary, keep it on one channel only and set time blocks when you'll even look at it. No midnight replies, no just checking messages. If they can reach you anytime, they will control your mood anytime. Next, guard your social media. Unfollow or mute them so their life isn't playing in your face. Lock your stories to close friends. Stop posting signals aimed at them. No sad quotes, no mysterious captions, no accidentally viewed stories at 2 a.m. Those are emotional breadcrumbs that tell them you're still orbiting. End the breadcrumb trail. If they're using mutual friends to peek into your world, close that window too. Tell your trusted people you're on a clean break reset, and you don't want updates about them or your updates passed along. You don't need to be rude, just firm. Your peace is not a community project. Then reclaim the physical spaces. If certain songs, cafes, or routines drag you back, change your environment for a while. New gym time, different coffee spot, fresh playlist. You're not running, you're rewiring. Every small change breaks a loop that kept you emotionally available. Create a personal no-access policy. No liking their posts. No replying to, "Hey stranger." No answering late-night calls. No meeting just to talk. If they truly value you, they will approach you with clarity, consistency, and accountability in the daylight, not with crumbs in the dark. Give yourself a 30-day emotional detox where your priority is sleep, movement, journaling, and purpose. When the urge hits, write a letter you'll never send. Pour it out, then put it away. That's how you stop using them as a pressure valve for your feelings. Remember the Stoic line from Epictetus: "There is only one way to happiness, to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Their opinions, their timing, their pride, beyond your control. Your boundaries, your screen time, your routines, fully in your hands." When you remove access, you remove the hooks they use to tug at you. The result is quiet at first, then powerful. They check their phone and find no entry point. They scroll and can't read your mood. They ask around and learn nothing. The mystery forces reflection, and in that space, you heal. You stop bleeding attention into a story that kept you small. You rise not noisily but clearly, unavailable to chaos, available to peace. That's not a game. That's growth. Number 4, let them feel the absence. When someone pushes you away on purpose, one truth becomes clear. Absence can be the loudest thing you ever use. People rarely value what they have while they have it. They notice in the small, quiet moments: an empty chair, a missed laugh, the silence on a shared playlist. Letting them feel that absence isn't cruel, it's honest. It shows them what they took for granted. It forces reflection in a way words rarely do. Picture an empty seat at dinner, a phone screen with no name lighting it up, a morning routine that suddenly doesn't include you. That gap hits different. It presses on the parts of them they tried to ignore: shame, regret, the memory of kindness they dismissed. But how do you let absence work without turning it into a passive-aggressive stunt? Start by living fully where you are, not performing for the audience that hurt you. Don't post to make them jealous. Don't send indirect messages meant to sting. Your absence works best when it's clean and real. Fill your days with things that matter: work, friends, movement, projects that stretch you. Let joy and calm replace the empty space. When they see you thriving, not acting, they feel the contrast. That contrast creates a mirror they can't avoid. Use small rituals to hold your ground. Keep mornings for your own thoughts. Say no to late-night conversations that pull you back, and refuse to answer when the timing feels manipulative. If they reach out, respond with clarity only if there is a real reason. Otherwise, let the silence do its job. Remember, absence is a test of character on their side, not punishment on yours. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." Letting absence be your teacher of dignity keeps you above petty games. Don't confuse absence with bitterness. Absence is a boundary. It's a safe space where you stop reconstructing them in your mind and start rebuilding yourself. It's where you trade drama for dignity. It's also time-limited in your control. You choose how long you hold it and why. You might hold the absence to recover. You might hold it to see true change. Or you might hold it to make room for someone who values you without tests. Whatever you choose, keep bringing your life forward. When they finally notice, it won't be because you carved messages into social media. It will be because your world keeps turning without them in it. That silence will echo in their head in ways your words never could. Let it. Let absence be the quiet teacher that shows them what they lost, while you quietly become someone they can't ignore for the right reasons. Number 5. Control the narrative in your mind. When someone pushes you away, your mind immediately starts telling stories. You replay conversations, reinterpret their actions, and convince yourself that their behavior means something it doesn't. Maybe they still care. Maybe they just needed space. Maybe I did something wrong. This is the trap. The mind wants to rewrite the story to soften the pain, to justify chasing, to make you feel needed. But that's not reality. Reality is often simple. They pushed, you feel pain, and their actions are a reflection of their choices, not your value. Stoicism teaches that meaning is not in events, but in your interpretation. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." If you allow your mind to reframe their push as love or attention, you hand them power over your emotions again. The first step is labeling the action accurately. They pushed, they withdrew, they tested you. Call it what it is, not what you hope it to be. This creates clarity. Once you see it clearly, you no longer act from anxiety or longing. You act from purpose. The second step is controlling the story you tell yourself. You decide the narrative. They do not define your worth. You are complete without their validation. Every moment you imagine chasing, you remind yourself of the truth. Your power lies in your reaction, not their behavior. Replace imagined scripts with affirmations. I am whole without their approval. Their absence is my strength. I decide what meaning their actions have. Third, recognize the impulse to rewrite history. You might remember the good moments and gloss over the ways they hurt you. That's natural, but dangerous. Write it down if it helps. The truth, unfiltered. Every ignored text, every manipulative comment, every empty promise. Seeing it on paper prevents your mind from romanticizing them. Fourth, when the mind tries to predict what they'll do next, refuse the forecast. The future is unknowable. Focus on controlling your present, your calm, your boundaries, your energy. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This means their push is a fact. Your meaning-making is a choice. By controlling the narrative in your mind, you turn chaos into clarity. You remove the emotional hooks they thought they planted. You become immune to the tests, the games, and the manipulations. You own your story. And in that ownership, you create the quiet power that makes them feel the shift. Not because you told them, but because you are living it silently, unshakable and free. Number 6, make your life loud without them. When someone pushes you away expecting you to chase, the most powerful response isn't a message. It's a life that speaks louder than words. Your life becomes the signal they can't ignore, the proof that your value wasn't dependent on their attention. This doesn't mean you perform for them, post for them, or show off intentionally. It means you live fully, visibly, and unapologetically for yourself. The Stoics teach us that external events don't define us. Our actions do. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." In this case, your life is wealth, and you give it freely to yourself. Start by focusing on growth that they can't manipulate. Your body, your mind, your skills, and your routines. Hit the gym, pursue a passion project, learn a new skill. The energy you invest in self-improvement is like a beacon. It radiates stability and confidence. Next, cultivate your social world. Spend time with friends who uplift you, not those who remind you of them. Build connections that expand your world instead of tethering you to the past. Your joy and confidence become visible in real ways. Your laughter in conversation, your focus in work, your presence in events. This is the loudness that doesn't scream at them, it simply exists. Your absence becomes sharper because your presence elsewhere shines. Social media can reflect this naturally but carefully. No cryptic posts, no passive-aggressive captions, just real glimpses of a life being lived, milestones being reached, happiness being nurtured. They notice, and it triggers reflection, not because you're signaling them, but because your life no longer orbits their whims. Every day you choose this path, you reinforce control over your own narrative. You show that their push doesn't dictate your movement. You show that you thrive independently. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Your life, in action and energy, becomes that embodiment of integrity and power. The more fully you live, the less space remains for them to manipulate or distract you. And here's the beauty: you no longer need their approval to validate your worth. Your accomplishments, your joy, your growth, these are yours. The psychological impact on them is profound. They see someone they once assumed would chase, now thriving, unshaken and self-contained. They feel the void of your attention and the weight of your freedom. That silent shift in the world you've created is far more powerful than any message you could send. This is how you turn absence into influence, control into clarity, and heartbreak into unshakable strength. Your life speaks louder than words ever could. The moment they notice the shift. This is the moment they never expected, the instant your absence becomes undeniable. They check their phone, perhaps out of habit, perhaps curiosity, and the usual flood of attention isn't there. No frantic replies, no late-night explanations, no desperate attempts to reach you. At first, they might think it's temporary, a fluke, a busy day, but the silence stretches and reality begins to seep in. They realize that the person they assumed would always be there is gone. Their mind starts racing, replaying moments they took for granted, gestures they ignored, words they dismissed. The pull you once felt toward them is now reversed. They are the ones feeling the emptiness. The invisible space you carved isn't just quiet. It's a mirror reflecting everything they lost. And it stings in a way words never could. Stoic wisdom teaches us that external events don't hurt us. It's our interpretation that creates suffering. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In this case, the event is their expectation of control, and your strength is the calm, unwavering life you've built without them. They begin to notice changes everywhere: your energy, your routines, your presence in social circles. You're not flaunting, but thriving. Every laugh you share, every milestone you reach, every moment of peace you exude is a statement of independence. Their imagined security crumbles. They thought you would orbit them, that your silence was temporary, that their push guaranteed a chase. Instead, you've rewritten the rules without a single word. Their reflection grows uncomfortable. They see the consequences of their actions mirrored in your life, and yet you remain untouched emotionally, steady in your control. This isn't about revenge. It's about clarity, self-respect, and visible freedom. You've allowed absence and presence to do what explanations and arguments never could. Show them what they lost, and more importantly, show yourself what you gained. They may try to contact again, test the waters, or even return. But now the dynamic has changed. You are no longer a reactive player in their game. You are the calm center of your own world, the steady force that cannot be pulled or pushed. And in this shift, you feel it yourself. The power, the peace, the undeniable truth that your life is yours first, theirs second, if at all. Here's the truth. Every time you choose not to chase, every time you refuse to give them the reaction they wanted, you claim a piece of your power back. You've built boundaries, held your peace, protected your energy, and created a life that doesn't revolve around their whims. That isn't just strength, it's freedom. Stoic wisdom reminds us, as Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. You've already decided. You will be someone unshaken, someone steady, someone who values themselves more than anyone else's validation. You don't owe them explanations. You don't owe them closure. You owe yourself the respect to keep your heart intact and your mind clear. The power you keep isn't about making them feel regret. It's about making sure you never sacrifice your peace again. When they push, you don't run. When they pull, you don't chase. You live, you grow, you thrive, and your life becomes the loudest statement of all. Every choice you make to protect yourself, to control your narrative, to hold your boundaries, it's a declaration of independence, of self-worth, of unshakable strength. So here's what I want you to do right now. Take a deep breath and drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose myself. I protect my peace. I hold my power. Say it like you mean it. Let it settle into your bones. If this video helped you reclaim your strength and reminded you that your value isn't up for debate, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. There's more wisdom coming your way, tools to help you stay steady, empowered, and untouchable in the face of anyone trying to test you. Remember, your power is yours to keep, and no one can take it unless you give it away. Live like you mean it.